The right title tag can make or break your conversion rate. And I did want to bring up an example that I found because I was really trying to look for something that would be somewhat familiar to people. The right lingo can really have an impact on whether or not someone clicks. This search is for financial planning for women. And if you search financial planning for women, you will see two websites come up, number one and number two. One is a company called Elvest, which obviously specializes in women's wealth and financial guidance. The second one is Merrill Lynch, which is key financial questions every woman should ask by age. These are number one and number two. What I found was really interesting because I have a little magical tool on my browser that tells me a lot of data about different searches. And what I discovered is, so Elvest, as this page gets almost 13,000 clicks each month. Merrill Lynch gets about 500,000 clicks per month. They're the number two. So we've got this big difference, this big gap, right? What's really interesting is the number of clicks on the Elvest one is about 5,000. Number of clicks on key financial questions every woman should ask is 0. Those two are competing for 1 and 2. You look at the titles and you see this is where, again, I tell people this is not scientific. This is very much creative and strategic. If we sit and analyze why is the Elvest one, which is a much less trafficked site overall, performing so much better than the Merrill Lynch one? Well, if I am this audience, again, going back to the audience question, I see women's wealth and financial guidance. That is giving me a lot of information. That's very powerful, actually. If I am looking for financial advice that works for me, and I see Elvest is saying, we're about women's wealth, we're about financial guidance, which is a very specifically chosen word, I am sure, I feel comfortable with the way they phrased it. Merrill Lynch is going for this assumption that I actually don't know a lot about financial planning for women. And so there's this key financial questions every woman should ask by age. But Elvest knows that their audience is actually a lot more sophisticated than that. I love this example because it really shows where folks like you, consultants, coaches, attorneys, etc., where you can really see that understanding of your people can give you a real advantage when you write these types of titles.